My reflection today is what happened to touch. And I had this revelation because I was at a dance workshop on Monday of this week. And without it being made explicit, we ended up doing an exploration where there was a lot of contact. So in other weeks, we will be quite separate, or being in contact with another person is incidental, and it's always consensual and all of that sort of thing. But I don't know, I had been feeling that there was a lack of connection. And so I think I stated that that was one of my wishes, to somehow be more connected as a group. And as a result, there was more physical touch. And we had a conversation at the end of that hour together. And the conclusion that I came to really was, we seem to have done something to this primal act of touching another person and put it into three categories, more or less. It's either something that is only exchanged between intimates, and if you want it to lead towards something perhaps sexual, or it's touch is reserved to a caretaking role. So you're taking care of someone who's vulnerable or needs care, or is injured, or needs to have medication administered to, or to be washed, and they are unable to do so themselves. So that kind of care touch. And then there's aggressive touch, or touch out of expediency, touch to defend yourself, to protect yourself, or to protect another person. But then there's all this other touch in between, friendly touch, consoling touch, I see you touch. And they're kind of only exchanged when there's an agreement between the two parties. And because we've really primarily divided touch into these three areas of being sexualized, caretaking, or being aggressive, the spaces in between have seemed to be diminished. And this kind of came very apparent during COVID, especially for people who were on their own. But any kind of tactileness seems to be, you have to go about it in a really careful way in today's society, in Western society, and well, in fact, most societies. And I feel like that's such a shame. And so, in my training as a body work, somatic educator, and Feldenkrais practitioner, I deliver that modality in two ways. One of them is verbally, where I'm instructing people to move their own bodies and have felt sense of what it is to move in their body. And then I work with people one-on-one, and that's in person, and I will touch these people. And the feedback that I often get is, or sometimes people will say I have a warm touch, or it's very healing, even though I don't claim to heal or fix or change anybody. But my touch is intended for that person to experience themselves, or to redirect their attention. And touch is the earliest signal that we have that we exist. And I think it's really special. It's really a privilege to be able to touch somebody. And I'm very deliberate and intentional about where I place my hands and how I do that. And I don't know, there's something in that. I just want to open this conversation around touch. I've been thinking about it in terms of AI. I've been thinking about it in terms of the use of devices. And I've been thinking about it in terms of organised religion, all sorts of things. And I don't know where this is going to lead me, but that's what my musings are on this week.